Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel and the garage for the second live stream of the evening. Hope everyone's okay and having a good time. I literally ran off really quickly just for a bit of dinner, came back, and everything is okay. Good to see everyone. I see there's loads of people in the comments already, which is great. Now, what happened up in Blackpool? What happened? I'm just going to load this picture so you can see what we're going on about here. I just realized I didn't upload this, minor technical difficulty, but here it comes. This is the thumbnail for this live stream winner, and you can see a Reform rosette there. Basically, I was made aware of a by-election victory in the Blackpool area where Reform managed to pinch a council seat from the sitting Labour councillor, and I thought that was absolutely wonderful news. You see, all of us here now, well, for the most part, are of a shared belief that what we have in this system of ours is no good, completely no good, and it needs replacing by something else. We've seen how the Conservatives have been, and we've seen how Labour are behaving, all of this expensive scandal and everything else coming out, and particularly, let's not forget the pensioners and how they're going to end up suffering because of what these people are doing. So what do we do different? We need to realise that there's more than first past the post. We need to realise that there's more to it than the sitting two parties. We need to realise that only we, the people, can actually affect change. We, the people, can do something about this. Now, when you look at Reform, obviously they've got the candidates they have in Parliament right now as sitting MPs. It's great. It's a start. It's a little voice which could potentially get a lot bigger, but that on its own isn't a big enough platform to turn it into something that could win elections. You need grassroots stuff. You need branch offices. You need councils. You need local support. You need to get out there and talk to people and make them realise that Reform aren't a bunch of racist toe rags and everything else that the media has painted them out to be. Julie's just come up with something. Hi, Julie. She's the one that sent me the article, and Johnny did as well. There's another by-election in another part of Blackpool coming up as well. Well, that'd be very interesting, wouldn't it, to see what happens? And hopefully we can repeat that success. Now, I got involved with Reform during the general election. And as you know, long-time subscribers of this channel, I spent a lot of time, seeing what Noel Wilcox up in Hemel did. And I even went up there and spent the day with him, going around the campaign trail to see what it's all about. And, Noel is salt of the earth, decent guy, and just wants to do the right thing by his country, and the people in his local area. And you will find many people like that. Now, I later on was invited to a local meeting of the Reform Party. I got an email because I tried to support our local candidate as well, get him on here, speak to him. It's something that needed to be done. We've got to try and help as much as we can, because the mainstream media, and I talked about them in my last live, will sweep all this under the carpet. They're all for Conservatives and Labour and the establishment as it is. No, that's no good anymore. No good anymore. So we need to try and push this stuff. So in this meeting, they said to me, I went in there and I had my camera in my hand, and they said, "Are you going to film this?" I said, "Well, I was intending to, but it's up to you." And they said, "Well, we'd prefer if you didn't, because we're worried about any backlash, any repercussions or anything like that from the left and any other splinter groups there might be." Fair enough. I'll just sit here and listen. And I did an account of it the next day. And they were very much, we need to set up branch offices. We need to set up infrastructure. We need to start pushing. We need to start. These are all the things, all the groundwork. We've got county elections coming up where some damage can be done to the establishment parties. And then we go from there. Build, 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 build. Now, I will clue you into something. I consider myself an Englishman, and there's very much emphasis on the word English what I would like to see probably is a long way off, but we've got what we've got to work with right now, and that is getting these people out any which way we can. Wingus, I live in Blackpool and I will never vote Labour or Conservative. Reform is the only option to make change. So thank you, Wingus. I appreciate you stopping in and giving that comment, and that is really a powerful statement right there, isn't it? Let's have a look at this. Lee Anderson hails political tsunami as Reform trounces Labour in bruising by-election. I wouldn't quite call it a tsunami just yet, but it's a step in the right direction. He believes that the result is an important step on Reform UK's journey to win the next general election. Now, this is what I'm talking about, root and branch structure, getting that groundwork in place, getting these offices in place, councillors, and, getting people realising that there's more to it. Lee Anderson has hailed his party's by-election victory in Martin Blackpool as a political tsunami, and as Julie Baldwin says, there's going to be another one very soon. Anderson, who was one of 5 Reform MPs, as we know, elected to Parliament, believes the result is an important step on the way. It is an important step, getting these council elections actually out and, winning. A political tsunami is coming our way. Massive gain here from Labour. This is how the path to victory in 2029 starts. Absolutely, I agree with that. The council seat by-election was triggered after Labour councillor Sarah Smith was elected as an MP. The victory was Reform's first success in 55 council elections to have taken place since July's general election. So I didn't actually realise there was that many by-elections. You can see the results here, aggregate results of the 55 council by-elections, and Reform has only got one, which is obviously the one I've won now, and Labour have lost 9 council seats in total since July. But if we scroll down a bit, and it gives you a little bit of semantics. The council seat was won by Jim O'Neill, a former soldier who served for 25 years. So, somebody who's loyal to his country, somebody who's served. Mr. O'Neill campaigned heavily on the controversial decision to remove the winter fuel allowance and has pledged to donate his council earnings to charities helping those in need. I mean, that alone, wonderful, wonderful. And, there's probably plenty of charities out there that are gonna need that support. Here we go. Martin Blackpool council by-election results. Reform, 38.8% of the vote, and that's up 29.3. Labour, 28, and that's down 23. That's quite a leap down. Conservatives, again, got a great big battering. And then you've got Independent, LDM, and Green coming in at the bottom. So it is a step in the right direction. And what I find important and what I really believe needs to happen is that Preston journalist took a second council seat this afternoon as well. Sorry if you've said that already. I'm behind. That's all right, mate. Julie said something about that as well. But, that just reinforces the message, doesn't it? That this can happen. In a general election, you had so many people that were saying, I don't want to vote for them because I believe that if I vote for them, you'll get Labour. I'm going to vote Tory, even though they're crap, because I don't want Labour. All of these funny party tricks were going around, weren't they? And then you have to disenfranchise those with voter apathy that don't want to come out and vote because they think, what's the point? What's the point? We're on the verge of some big change here, massive change, and as many people as possible have got to get on platforms like this and listen to people like me trying to say, get out there. We can change this if we really want to. Nothing is ever totally lost. Nothing is ever totally lost. That is true. Thanks, TPJ. Love your channel, mate. Lee Williams, that's to that Preston journalist. Yeah, if you haven't done so already, he's doing really well. That Preston journalist, he's creeping up to 50,000 subscribers. He's getting there very much. So, it says it how it is. I think he used the words "my arse" in one of his video titles earlier. So he's a lot braver than me. Anyway, let's have a look, shall we? See what you have to say. Johnny Smart, hit the thumbs up, everybody. Yes, if you can. 241 watching. A couple on Facebook as well, I think. So if you haven't, please hit the thumbs up because it does help that algorithm. I'm going to try and do more of these little pop-up lives because it's good where I can get a new story across quickly and interact with you all as well. And I think they're really good. DJ D James 007. I hope so, Andy. Yeah, me too. That's what we've got. Hope. As all the while we've got that. All aboard the Reform Express. Mark Anderson. Love it. Mark Anderson. I know a Mark Anderson. You're not the same Mark Anderson I know, are you? Or are you a different one? Let me know. Killer Crease, man. Sounds like Reform will get more council seats in time. Bang the drum. Absolutely. This is what, everybody's saying 2029. We've got to get that infrastructure there in place. The only thing that could scupper it is if they called something early. Which is a stunt they tried to pull this time. Gold Mario 5500. Good riddance. About time Liverpool grows a brain. Bill, I've met Jim. He's a great guy. Just the type of country. There you go. This is the thing with Reform. The people I met in Reform, they're just normal people. Normal people that want the best for this country. There's nothing racist or any otherist about them. Yet look how they're painted. You remember right back at the beginning of this stream, I said I wasn't allowed to film, or they requested that I didn't film. And it just shows how much fear is going around. Bispham, north of Blackpool, are having a local election soon. I think that's the one Julie said about at the beginning. That'd be interesting to see what happens there. It's all in the north, isn't it? That north red wall that they talk about all the time. Mr. Wolf, local elections, smash the bloody system, get reform in, everyone. Absolutely. Well, more importantly, let's get the big two out. Pete Nikolic, Bar Liverpool was up there yesterday. Once is more than enough. Thanks much. I supported Liverpool Football Club when I was a kid, but I've never been to Liverpool. Strange that, her. I lived near somebody who was from Liverpool, but that's as far as it went. Lee Williams, bring some guests on, Andy. I'm thinking about other things to do with the lives because I do a live every Sunday as well, and I'm thinking of how we can diversify a bit. Theo Bovril, I missed the opening. What's the news here? It's just about the Reform by-election victory, mate, and I hope you're well. Thank you for coming along. Yeah, I did a live stream with Paul Thorpe this weekend just gone, last Sunday, and it was great. Several thousand people have watched it. Had a whale of a time. Please check it out. It's great stuff, and you get more when you talk to people. If anybody, particularly if you've got a YouTube channel, wants to jump on and let's chew the cud for an hour, certainly get in contact with me. Maggie, the Irish are separate. The Northern Irish can't vote for reform as they've no candidates here. Plus, we usually vote for either nationalist or unionist parties. Yeah, it all seems to be centred around England at the moment, doesn't it? With a little bit of Wales and Scotland, and Ireland's kind of out there on the limb, particularly the Northern Irish. You must be watching it and thinking, what the hell? And feeling a bit excluded from it all. But, can things change? We'll have to see what happens. It's up to the English, Welsh, Scottish and Irish to vote for reform. And if it happens, it's looking very good. Yep, absolutely. Yep, I got that one, Julie. Another by-election in another part of Blackpool coming up soon. Bloodnose, please press the like to help spread this video. Absolutely. Thank you, Bloodnose, my right-hand man on a Sunday night. Lee Williams, contact Gareth Wynne Jones on here, a farmer who's great. This government wants to destroy natural food. Yeah, I think you mentioned him on my previous stream I did, didn't you, Lee? I'll certainly have a look up and get in contact and see if there's anything I can do there. I belong to a group where I get access to a lot of news and a lot of background messaging and bits and pieces that might not necessarily be in the public domain. And one of the things that comes out again and again is farmers all the time. David Nichols, like the backdrop, but could do with a woman's touch, don't you think? You know, I've been in my car, I've been in the house, like I'm walking around the streets, and this is literally my garage. I did a behind the scenes video for the channel members on here and showed you what's what, and you know, in here, what my setup is. You wouldn't see it, but I'm literally sat at a little desk with a couple of spotlights and you know, a webcam and a couple of other toys just to get it done. Shut that door, yes. You'd need to be a very old member of the channel to know what that meant. I might have to have a revisit of that just for you, blood nose. Well, everybody, that about wraps that up. You know, that's the information that I have, the most up-to-date information on that situation. I appreciate you all coming along for the second one of the day. I'm going to run a little survey probably later to see what you think of these, and if you like them, I'll carry on doing them. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button. I appreciate you doing that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You just found me for the first time. We're motoring along. I think we're getting near 105,000 subscribers now, which is great. Share me on your social media. And as always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.